Okay, so for the rest of this week, we're going to be working on something that should be super familiar to everybody. It's a document that we've used for hand drawing, for whether it's orthographic projection or isometric drawing. We've used it when we learned SketchUp, and I thought it was appropriate to do it again now that we're learning Tinkercad. So for some reason, today of all days, my website seems to be full in terms of adding more files. So what I had to do is add a link here. So what you're going to do to get 5 MV sketching exercises is you can just click right here and it's going to bring you to the page of my website, The Essentials, where it is. So I don't know, it's a little convoluted, but it's what we have to do. So you go ahead and open up this very familiar document. And for the rest of the week, this is what you're going to be working on. So if you want to look at it in terms of equal amount of time, you could figure three shapes per day. So get the first 3 done today, Wednesday, if that's when you're viewing this. The next 3 shapes on Thursday, and then the final 3 shapes on Friday. So what we're going to do to keep it easy is every box that you see here is going to equal 1 millimeter, which means this first shape number 1 that I'm going to do with you here, is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 millimeters wide by 4 millimeters in depth, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 millimeters tall. And by keeping them at this size and scale, you'll be able to fit all 9 of these in one document, and that's what I'd like you to do. So I have a blank document here, but actually I want to just make sure that nobody's confused. I'll go back to my dashboard. You're going to hit Create New Design. And then this way you can start fresh with our first shape. So like I said, I'm going to do the first one with you or for you, and you can follow along, and then the rest you're going to figure out on your own. And of course, when you're stuck or if you're stuck, you shoot me a message and I'll help you get through it. So like I said, the overall dimensions of this is going to be 10 millimeters wide. So I'll change that by 4 millimeters in depth and 6 millimeters tall. So if I want to zoom in on that, I can hit F to focus in on that particular shape, right? Focus in on my selection. I learned that last project. And because I created a box that is the overall size of this, I'm going to be using the subtractive method for creating this or for modeling. So instead of additive, where I'd add blocks to get this shape, I'm going to be subtracting away these 2 spaces here. So the void here on the right-hand side of this object is 3 millimeters by 3 millimeters with the same depth as the object. So I'm going to bring in a hole that is box-shaped, and I'm going to resize it. So I'm going to make it the same depth as the object. I could really go further with this if I wanted to make it more than this depth, but I'm going to make it the same. So 4 by 3 by 3. And now I need to place it. So to do that, I'm going to use the Align tool. So if you recall from like the fountain exercise, along with some of the other lessons, I've selected them both, and then I hit Align. I want to align this hole with my red box here. So I'm going to click on the box so that all of these handles are all related to the box and not the hole. So I'm going to line them up in a few different ways. Oh, it looks like it's already lined up centrally, so that's actually pretty easy for me. And now let's get the second one. So the second box is 3 millimeters wide by 4 millimeters deep, but this time it's only 2 millimeters tall. So it's very similar, but not the same as the last one. But since it's so similar and I like to be efficient, I'm going to try, maybe I can select these both of these and then deselect. Yeah, that worked. So I copied this one over. And I'm going to change the height to 2 millimeters. I'll realign it. And now we can already see the shape is there. I have one solid and 2 holes. And when I group them, I get the shape that I need. So Tinkercad is different than any other piece of software we've used. Some of these shapes will be fairly easy. The cone, for example, all you'll need to do is pull the cone in and resize it to match these dimensions and these proportions, right? That's the important thing, is even if you have a shape that seems pretty straightforward, make sure that those dimensions match. So again, pacing, Wednesday, do the first 3, Thursday, do the next 3, and then on Friday, finish it out. All right, so message me with questions.